And now, let the wild rumpus start! I am Ian, king of the wild things, and welcome to Sunshine Storytime. I am here in this wild jungle with these wild trees, and I've got my wild sparkly cape on and my special crown. And it just so happens that I have some cosmic space sheep here on my shirt. They are in outer space. So I must be in some other land of adventure and wild things. Today, we are going to be reading one of my favorite stories about wild things in wild places and far off lands. It is called, you might be able to guess it. What do you think we're going to read? Where the Wild Things Are. It is by Maurice Sendak, is our author. Oh, my crown is falling down. Let me get that fixed so I can read. Here's the opening pictures. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. And another. Oh my goodness, he's chasing his poor doggy. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. Oh my goodness. Have you ever had your bedroom turn into a forest? And grew. What do you think from the look on Max's face? Is he happy about this forest growing? And grew until his ceiling hung with vines, and the walls became the world all around. Oh my goodness, he's in a complete forest, and look at that beautiful moon. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. Oh my goodness, look, his private boat even has his name written on it, Max. That looks like a fun sailboat. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. Oh my goodness, there's a wild thing coming out of the water with horns on its head and interesting hair. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth. Roar! and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Max doesn't look very scared there, does he? Till Max said, "Be still!" and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. And made him king of all the wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." What do you think the wild rumpus is? Let's find out. Oh my goodness, what are they doing? It looks like they're howling or calling up to the moon. Probably roaring like wild things. Roar! Let's hear your roar like a wild thing. What are they doing there? It looks like they're all hanging in the trees. Do you like to hang in trees or climb trees? Because if so, maybe you're a wild thing too. Oh my goodness, and what are they doing here? Looks like they're dancing or going around the forest like wild things. Max, the king of the wild things, is riding on their back. "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. That sounds familiar. Do you know anyone else that happened to? Got sent to bed without their supper? And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be somewhere where someone loved him best of all. And then, all around from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go! We'll eat you up, we love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars, roar, and gnashed their terrible teeth, and rolled their terrible eyes, and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. Where do you think Max is off to? Where is he setting sail to? and sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. Wow, that looks like a nice night of sailing. Look at that beautiful full moon. And into the night of his very own bedroom, where he found his supper waiting for him. Wow, look, there his supper is on the table. Do you think he looks happy about that? And it was still hot. The end. So that is one of my favorite stories that I used to read a lot when I was younger, when I was maybe your age, or actually maybe my parents read it to me. And I probably wore something like this some of the time when I was getting to read it and thinking about all the fun adventures and journeys that I could go on, just like Max, to where the wild things are. And I was thinking how I love now to keep exploring all different lands and all different parts of the world. And one of my favorite things to go on adventures like that, like Max, is because I get to go see how other people live and how other creatures live, like the wild things, in different places, because there's all different ways to live and all different places to live in different parts of the world in nature. Sometimes there's mountains, sometimes there's the ocean, sometimes there's jungles or forests, and it's all so fun to get to see. So I can see why Max likes to have such adventures. Do you like to have adventures too? Tell someone when you talk to them next near you about a fun adventure that you might like to have, or maybe one that you had in your dreams while you were sleeping, because that's another really fun place to have adventures, because in your dreams, anything can happen. And also in life, anything can happen. So if you're excited about something, keep going and see what it is. Well, I hope that you enjoyed reading about Max and the wild things, and maybe let a little bit of your wild thing out and have an adventure. I will see you next time on Sunshine Storytime, and have a great, great rest of your day or your night. And I hope that you get to have your supper